Hey baddies, welcome to another Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing another pop-up pick a card reading. This one's going to be all about your most gifted past life and how it affects you now in your current life. So I will be using the Portals Oracle deck here to use for our pop-up picks. What's going to happen here is I'm going to shuffle up this deck, and whatever three cards come out are going to be the cards we're going to be using as your psychic linking objects, and I will be pulling as I go for each group. So let me just shuffle her up a bit, and we'll go from there. And we're going to knock it. And keep in mind, this is a general reading, so you're going to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I feel one more. Got to get that energy out. And I'm feeling like this. Okay. Okay, there's one. Okay, we have presence. Beautiful card. So that's going to be group one. I'll show them to you once more. I will also insert a photograph for those of you guys who are going to need a little bit more time to see which group you're drawn to. Now, with all my readings, if you're drawn to more than one group, usually there's more than one message there for you, unless I tell you otherwise. So, okay, let me pull it like this. It's more difficult this way. Oh, okay. This one wants to come out too. We have New World. Okay, so that's group two. This one's face up, so I'm going to take it. We have Enter. Okay, we have 4 cards here, so I'm going to do 4 stacks. And that's the way that's going to be. Okay, and yakety yak. And group 4 is going to be Magic. Okay, so this is group 1. Group 1, you are Presence. All right, so that's group 1. And group 2, we have New World. I just love these cards so much. So group 2, you are New World. Group 3, you are Enter. And that's you. Group 3, you are Enter. And group 4, you are Magic. All right, group 4, you are Magic. And like I said before, I will insert a little picture for those of you guys who need a bit more time to see which group you're drawn to. So, and with that said, I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey group 1, all of you that selected Presence, this is going to be your reading all about your most gifted past life and how it affects you now. So keep in mind, it is a general reading. It is a general session, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. All right, so let's get into this energy of presence and find out who you were and what your gift was. So let's just get into it. I'm going to pull from the Archetype Oracle deck. I'm just going to shuffle it up a bit. All right. Guides. I feel a lot of guides gathering. A lot of guides. Some are in blue, so some are probably passed over ancestors or loved ones. I have a little girl guide here. That's interesting. Okay. With a crown. She's wearing a crown. And I have some God forms as well. Ancestors, angelics, daemons as well. Okay. All right. The first card we have is nonconformist. Often changes the rules and the status quo. Courageous. Of letting go to limiting beliefs. Challenges, status quo, game changer, rebel. Okay. And you know what's interesting is this, okay, I'm going to move it closer for now. Okay. This card reminds me kind of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You know how it leans? And then when I get this card, I just, that building stands out. It's not like other buildings. It's completely unique. Unique. My tongue is very heavy today. I'm sorry. It's because of my medicine. So, for my autoimmune disease. Anyway, I feel that you were a very unique person. You went against the grain. And it feels like it's probably because of your unique gift that you went against the grain. Um, let's get more into this energy. It feels like you were very gifted and very talented. God, I'm getting flashes of like the Renaissance here. I'm getting flashes. Also, there's some ornateness on this. You see how it's kind of ornate? I want to show it to you. You see how it's kind of ornate? It kind of reminds me of like a cake almost. How there's just like all these like, I don't know, decorations. I'm just feeling like a Renaissance type energy, libertine type energy as well. Creative. I see someone standing in the middle of people of the church. Okay. We have tyrant. Okay. Awakened, leader, competent, and charismatic, reevaluates life choices and outcomes, balanced, steps aside to make room for new life, and helpful. Okay, you may have been like, I want to say you may have been in like a royal house. You may have been a benefactor of a royal house, like an artist that was financially supported. What did they call those? A patron or something like that. We have boss, disconnected, manipulative, controlling, overthinks, judges, unbalanced, uncreative, not totally present in the moment, repelling. So I feel like that's the energy that you were non-conforming, like you were rebelling against. You were, and some of you guys did this with your art. I gotta tell you, I'm not saying you were the Marquis de Sade, okay? I'm just saying that there's some of this kind of rebellious energy here. Just like, oh, you think that was bad? Wait till you see what I'm gonna do next, motherfucker. That kind of energy. Like, you think, uh, some of you were writers, some of you were musicians writing music, some of you guys were artists, painters, or sculptors, and some of your art was offensive, and I feel like offensive to the church. We have wars and battles. Okay, tell me more. I see someone in the middle of the clergy. It feels Catholic. Catholic. I'm hearing someone say Catholic to me, like in a smart ass tone. Catholic, honey. They were Catholic. Okay, we have baby. Okay. I hear it was over the baby Jesus. It was over the baby Jesus. They didn't appreciate my rendition. My rendition. We have Greco-Roman and angels. This is someone who I feel like offended, and what I'm hearing with this card is the Roman Catholics didn't appreciate my rendition of something that had to do with the baby Jesus. They found it offensive. And how can we offend God? How do we offend God? I asked them. How do we offend God? And it feels like this person not only had a gift of the arts, okay, they had a gift of going against the grain, of being the outside the box person. This person was very inspiring, okay? They feel masculine, but I gotta tell you, their feminine energy is just off the chart. And I feel like this energy is sitting at the table with me when we're having a casual conversation about what the fuck happened. Because I hear this energy, and it's an energy that represents these past lives. Okay, this group of past lives. Because I'm reading a group. Some of you guys may do very intricate cakes or baking. I'm hearing someone bakes like crazy here, honey. They do such beautiful work, and they never get credit for it. And some of you guys are incredibly talented. I feel like I'm channeling this person. Okay, this person's a very gifted artist. Okay, I'm hearing I was a libertine, honey, and I did what the fuck I wanted to do. Um, and I told those people that, I'm sorry that I offended a little baby, but he's dead and gone now, so I don't know how we could offend the baby Jesus or God. But anyway, okay, so we have Archangel Gabriel and the bird's nest. Okay, so we have angels here. There's definitely like an angelic presence to this. Um, It feels like this energy never really felt safe, and in a way that like they lived on the edge. Okay. Um, a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. Oh, and I'm hearing them say also, I was a little bit of a junkie, darling. There was addiction problems. They weren't called problems then, though. I feel like this person, when they passed, they had, um, like, it feels like syphilis or something like that, because it feels like they're missing like their nose or something. And I'm hearing this person say it was hideous. It was hideous. Um, but this person never felt a sense of home, which made it, and they're telling me like it made it easier for me to rage. It made it easier for me to be creative. It made it easier. I never felt home in anyone. I never felt home in my own home. I always was out, absolutely living life to the fullest. I was a hellraiser, and I lived in that energy. So when they asked me to do these artful things for you know, the baby Jesus, I just was like, oh, okay. But, the benefactors' money came, and so did, the support. Although some of you guys were already born into some kind of money, but for some of you, the money ran out, but the title was long. And for others, you had the money, but it was fun. It was fun to be the artistic. Now, for a few of you, you were female, but a lot of you were actually male. But many of you had a lot of feminine energy. Okay. And a lot of you, there were a lot of trouble in the having heirs situation. That's how this energy is saying. Having heirs was an issue. We were always traveling and stuff. They didn't say stuff, but anyway. I feel like the tyrant energy here um, is the oppression. I feel like this life was about liberation of artistic spirit, of human spirit, and living kind of a delicious type life, a bohemian life, if you will, and absolutely refusing to conform. And for some of you, I feel like the lack of, it's almost like this lack of not having a home or feeling home opened up the doorway for you to be more bold in your creativity. You felt like you could live life in a more out loud kind of way. But it also gave you no soft place to fall. So it fed the addictive tendencies, but it also made your work very powerful. And I'm going to tell you, some of you guys have pieces that are in museums. Some of you guys have pieces that are still being read. We're talking about the Renaissance era, and it trickles into a few hundred years before and a few hundred years after. Okay? Give me some more energy here. We're not taking reversals from this deck. Okay, we have the architect. Ooh, beautiful. That makes sense. Some of you guys were architects. You helped build buildings. Oh, some of you guys you helped build churches. You helped build a cathedral. And they didn't think it was very fitting. You did something to the building that they thought was disrespectful to the baby Jesus. He's being very specific, the master artisan. Okay. Some of you did something. I'm seeing, like, for those of you who resonate with being like an architect, having a builder, master builder, you may be into masonry, or you may be like into the occult. You may be a Freemason, or just you may be an occultist in this life. I'm going to leave it there. I feel like there was something about underneath the pulpit, underneath the altar. There was something put there. And Amy, they'll never figure out it was me. Because I was a libertine. I was a joke. Oh wow, you put something underneath there. Something very important. Some of you guys may actually remember this. And this can be different ones, different people, okay? Different, because now I'm seeing like different structures, okay? Because now we're expanding, because I see the globe expanding. It's almost like something's been broken up and put in different places. And you're part of that. Not all of you, though. Some of you guys have written like wisdom teachings that have been broken up into pieces, into different books. Some of you guys are like master artisans of like spiritual teachings through art. You just aren't aware of these things. Some of you guys have mastered frequency, the gift of frequency, of sound, of music. And in this life, you had already mastered this before this lifetime, okay? In this lifetime, it was about you setting it free and using it to loosen up the ties of conformity, of oppression against the creative spirit. And that's why you didn't have a lot of ties to home. I feel like a lot of you did not have a lot of you didn't have a lot of deep, emotional, fulfilling relationships as far as your family goes, because of really what you set out to do in this past life. And I feel like you mastered, some of you guys, before you entered this life, you were like master violinists. You had already mastered being a master builder. Some of you guys previous to this life were like in Egypt, or you were in Greece, and you were building like major structures there. Some of you guys were priests of Anubis. I'm getting that very strongly. Some of you guys were, and I don't mean guys, that's just a general statement. I don't mean any disrespect. Some of you were priests or necromancers, whatever label you want to put on it, of Hades here. And this is another past life. So many of you had already kind of walked into this life with kind of an expertise here. Some of you guys were, previous to this, involved in the mysteries of the Eastern Orthodox Catholic Church, okay? I feel like I want to pull some tarot because I feel like um, in your personal life, like love and things like that, were very difficult. I feel like um, I feel a lot of tragedy here. I feel a lot of like just so gifted and talented, and so willing to like put yourself out in the war um, of censorship, of oppression, and to be different. But, and I feel like you have done a lot. You did a lot in this lifetime to further really humanity. And for a lot of you, I feel like it's noted. It's noted. So I need you to follow whatever crumbs that you get, and discover more about this life, because I feel like um, it will be a journey of discovery. We have the Two of Pentacles here. We have the World. Oops, boobies. We're going to put that over there. Okay. The World and the Two of Pentacles. The Star. Boobies. We're going to put that over there. Okay. I feel like you had a lot of eyes on you. You had a lot of attention. And I feel like people were afraid to align with you. They hesitated because there was something about you that they were this like new world, the new chapters, there was uncertainty about where you were going to go, what was going to happen to you a lot of the time because of some of the things that you did. And it made people afraid. Tell me about this love here. We have the Page of Cups. Okay. I feel like that's over there. I feel like you did a lot for the collective, but when it came to like your personal, the Five of Cups, yeah, it was, there was a lot of regret and remorse. There was a lot of grieving over love. I feel like this probably was a lot of inspiration for the work that you did. We have the Two of Wands and the Six of Wands, and I I feel like it kind of left you in this state because I feel like this is still this past life, okay? Because I feel like this is now. This is how it affects you now. This is more of a now kind of energy. Um, this is kind of what you're healing in this lifetime with this victory over here. Tell me more about this Five of Cups. Tell me more about the Five of Cups and the Page of Cups. I feel like there is great love lost here, like a great love. We have the Hangman, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, I feel like there was a great love lost here. Now, I'm going to tell you it's the High Priestess, but I feel like for some of you, this was like a same-sex type relationship. For some of you, like you were an artist, perhaps working on art for the church in some kind of way, and there was some kind of connection to a priest, a cardinal, someone like that. And there was a lot of happiness here, but it was just not meant to be. And the loss was intense. Now, for others, this was it feels like a love within a house, like a royal house, as the artist that's being supported by a very wealthy family. You may have been of royal descent as well, but you weren't the right one. And even though there's a lot of happiness here, it did not go well. I will say for some of you, especially if this involved a church member, it did not go well. Okay, I'm getting with the Hangman, I'm getting like literally hanged men kind of energy. Okay, it doesn't feel good. I have to say this because I feel an underground stream kind of energy was group one. I feel like some of you guys may have been involved in kind of an underground, occult, magical kind of environment as well. And that might have been part of what happened to you. Uh, they found out about it. Okay. Now, I feel like it's like you had to pretty much choose your art and your mission to continue to kind of like rebel against the powers that be over like love. And I feel like you had other lovers, you had other people in your life, but it was never like this again. You never let yourself fall in love. I feel like you moved on very quickly. Yes, quickly. I'm hearing yes, very quickly. And for some of you, it caused you to like get some kind of contract some kind of STD or something like that. Um, for others, I feel like there's a death that's attached to this kind of like, not only is it you got found out about this, but you already have the other stuff that they're uncomfortable with as far as like your work. So it was like, okay, well, we're just gonna get rid of this because we might as well, because what's the point? And I feel like you guys are very gifted in this life. You have a lot of talent. I feel presence here, literally. The presence of, immediately I picked up on like this intricate, highly skilled gate here. It's so beautifully made. It's so like, you can just see all the work here that's gone into this gate, and it's incredible. And I immediately pick up on that with you, that you have this. If you don't resonate with that, then this is probably not your group because you're very gifted artistically. Okay. You have this massive amount of creativity, but you also have a gift for being able to kind of rally against oppression. So you have this beautiful mixture of this energy. And in this life, you probably are having some issues with relationships and finding trust and being able to kind of like put things together in relationships. And I feel like in this life now, that's part of your journey, is to find a place to call home. Find a person to call home and trust that person, and to be able to bring in this balance into your life of having both being this super creative, artistic person who puts out quality work and is able to use this ability to kind of like be outside the box, be thought provoking, and kind of be a little shocking at times, even to use that to the greater advantage, but also have love for yourself, also have family, also have home for yourself, not having to choose either or, but being able to have both. And I feel like that's what's really going on for you. And that's really how this applies to you. You have star energy. I can't show you because there's boobies. But you have star energy. You have world energy. You have victory here. And this is really for you in this life, for you to have victory. Because in this life, you didn't. You were artistic. Yes, a lot of you guys have laid foundations. You have inspirations already in the tombs and schools and halls and museums of history, okay? But you didn't have a great life. Some of you guys didn't live very long, okay? And in this life, it seems you're called to be in balance. You may be a Libra, okay? You may be a Taurus. I hear Venus here, a large presence of Venus. You may have a very strong Venus sign Your Mars may be very strong. You may be Aquarian or Gemini. Also feeling water here very heavily. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I feel like there is a that's not you, that's okay. Just if it is, then it's you. All right. So I feel like this life is for you to feel the victory of balance, of being able to have a fulfilled heart and being able to express yourself creatively and also having victory, having being successful and being able to speak your mind and not feel so oppressed. Now, the interesting thing is we're in a time where there seems to be more oppression going on about things like this. So the fact that this lifetime has come forward means that, we're needing more and more people just like you who have interesting things to say that may cause people to have interesting thoughts about what's going on in the world. And we need people to think about things in interesting ways, right? So, yeah, group one, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful and insightful and interesting. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group two, all of you that selected New World. This is going to be your reading all about your most gifted past life and how it affects you now. So keep in mind, it's a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Isn't this a beautiful card? This is so beautiful. And I gotta say, I'm getting this this energy of people immigrating to different places. And I'm hearing Brave New World. I feel people immigrating to Australia. I see people immigrating to the United States. I'm feeling this energy of brave souls who came across many, I'm seeing like oceans, took days to travel. And didn't necessarily come over to these places in the best state. I'm seeing people going to Africa. I'm seeing people like changing locations. Many people were not able to really make it back. I'm seeing people coming to America from Ireland. I'm seeing Germany. I'm seeing people from the Middle East. I'm seeing different places. I'm seeing the Philippines as well. I'm seeing people moving towards in different places all over, because I'm seeing the map. I'm seeing the world, and I'm seeing people moving. I'm seeing a lot of people moving all over different places in Europe now. And Eurasia and that kind of area. Is Eurasia a word anymore? I don't know, but it's like the Asia continent, like a lot of different immigrations, and not necessarily going back. They went to stay and raise a family, and a massive amount of people going to Australia. So that's what I'm seeing here with this card. So if you don't resonate with that, this may not be your group. Okay, so let's get into it and find out about this past life. So I feel like there's a level of bravery here with this group right off the bat. I feel like there's this energy of like getting on a train, getting on a boat, some with all the money they had to try to start a new life. I'm seeing people scrubbing floors. I'm seeing people cleaning chimneys. I'm seeing people trying to earn their way out of indentured slavery, I'm like paying their way out to be able to move. I'm seeing this like energy. Someone's like they're holding up a sign to me and saying anywhere but here kind of energy, like they didn't care exactly where they went. I went to they're saying the boat place where they sold those tickets, And whatever my money could buy me is where I went. And I ended up in Australia. Um, the furthest away it could take me, one way, is where I went. And I went to Australia. I'm seeing some I'm seeing the Oklahoma land run. Now I'm in Oklahoma, so I'm seeing a lot of things here. So the images keep coming in. So group 2, there's just a lot of different energy here. So use your own discernment here. Okay, tell me more about my group 2, the bravery of my group 2. Okay, that one, Dark Lord. Physical warrior, fighting on the front lines, physical and magical capabilities, enlightened, authority, power, grandiose, influence, noble. That's a powerful warrior. I can see how you would be so brave to kind of like be a lot, because I feel this energy of like many of you were alone when you did this. Some of you had small families, but I don't feel like this was like a big family move. I feel like this was like either you alone or you and maybe a sister or a brother, or you and like a very small family, maybe with one child, but it wasn't like a large family moving across large miles or anything like that. Okay, so there took a level of bravery. We didn't have a lot of resources, so we knew we were going to have to like scramble. We didn't know how. Some of you came from London. I came from the streets of London. Okay, we have entertainer. It came out in reverse. Self-depreciating, unfiltered, shallow, fear of boredom, distraction, plays victim, impulsive, disruptive, inappropriate, off task. Okay, I came from the streets of London. Okay, I'm feeling this energy of like, I didn't know what I was going to do. That's what I feel with that entertainer in reverse. I didn't know what I was going to do. There was this energy of, this could be two separate energies here. We have the Dark Lord and we have this other energy. So we have two separate energies presenting now. This entertainer in reverse. Lives in the moment, over the top, playful, joyful, life of the party, fun-loving, enthusiastic, clever, expressive, shock, value. Okay, so I feel like this may have been the energy that you were traveling with or you had with you. Okay, and this may have been the energy that always got in the way. If you were traveling with someone. If not, this could be a separate, like, past life energy presenting in group 2 that had the same kind of makeup, but when they're the person that crossed over, this is your past life, that it feels like this energy is very ungrounded here. But I also feel this gift, they have a gift, but it's very ungrounded, and I feel like they were running from something when they came over. Okay, they may have traveled together, or this is two separate stories. So take what resonates. Okay, we have perfectionist. Believes process is best. Balance, understands your best is good enough. Does not overdo it. Practices self-care. Okay, I feel that's here. This could be a father and daughter, or father-son as well. Give you some more energy here. That's too many cards. I can't take all those. Okay, well, we'll take the ones that flipped. How about that? Okay. Okay, we have defender, overly humble, takes things personally, represses their feelings, overcommitted, fearful, too altruistic, reluctant to change. We have killer, hides their insanity well, manipulative, childhood trauma, family dysfunction, cannot empathize with others, psychopath. Wow. Okay, we have guide, thinks they know best for others, lost, overinflated ego, their word is gospel, thinks they know others better, misguided. Wow. I feel like almost that's a third energy. So we may have three energies here presenting, coming to the new world. And it makes sense because there's so much that I picked up on. So let's just read one read each group here. We're going to read them as a group, each group. So we have 3 groups presenting in group 2. Let's start with the perfectionist here. They may have been traveling with the entertainer. The killer feels like a whole other energy. I don't feel it's directly connected, although it could be. Okay. This may have been what they were running from. That this may be what they were leaving behind. Okay. So give me some more energy on this Dark Lord perfectionist. Tell me more about this past life. This Dark Lord perfectionist. I'm hearing like very brave, like very logical. I'm feeling like a take charge kind of person here. We have vows. Okay. They may have been a priest at one time or a preacher. They also may have been married and been a widow or a widower or widowee or, you know. They may also feel a vow to take care of the entertainer energy, especially if that's a son or a daughter. Okay, we have Egypt. Okay, this may be an Egyptian family, Egyptian connection. This may be an Egyptian energy that is immigrating as well, immigrating out of Egypt. We have Asia. We have the arts. So we have high priest, high priestess. So I feel like they were leaving behind, high priest, high priestess. So this could have been a priest. I'm getting like scribe energy here. I feel like Egypt to Asia. And I'm seeing, I feel like they left behind their vows and they moved into, I feel like there was a switch into Buddhism here and learning some kind of stringed instrument. And I don't think they left necessarily the religion of Egypt. I feel like they kind of like took it with them and kind of blended the two to a degree. What I want to know is why, let's get a little bit more here. Why was this, why did they leave? I'm getting killer guide here. There was manipulations within the order. Corruption. Tell me more about this corruption. I was being undermined. Okay, tell me about this. Tell me more about this. We have important. I feel like they took their vows very seriously. We have leadership. They took their vows and their position very seriously, and they were being undermined. And they left because they wanted to like be forgotten. Okay, they wanted to be forgotten. And they went to Asia. And I feel this very strong energy of like getting into some early form of Buddhism. Okay, the Three of Cups here. And learning a stringed instrument. I don't know what to call it. Okay, but some kind of stringed instrument and becoming very, very well versed in it. You guys may have some kind of gift with stringed instruments like guitar or violin. There's something here about Buddhism and Egyptian religion or spirituality that may be deeply connected to the arts. We have the Tower. Okay, it feels like somebody within your connections in this life, something went south. Tell me about what went south here. The star, the sun. I feel like somebody got jealous of you in Egypt. Okay, somebody got jealous of you and your abilities. They saw you as a threat. And because of your nature, because of what you've learned, and you took your vows very seriously, you decided the best thing for you to do was to you didn't see what you did as like running. What you saw what you did as moving towards peace, and not causing any like real disruption. It was like you saw what you did as I didn't want to cause drama. It wasn't fucking necessary. And quite frankly, I could not come back from what was done. It feels like there was jealousy here. Tell me about the tower. There was jealousy. So what was done? What was done? Okay, I'm being guided to a different deck. Okay, what was done here? What was done here that made you decide, that, hey, just let's go. Let's go. I just want to change my life. I don't want to be here anymore. The brothers I thought I had were not brothers. We have Mama Bridget. I probably said that wrong and I apologize. Protectress of women, justice, vengeance, healing, and love. Okay, so I feel like you left because someone took vengeance on you. I feel like they tried to, I'm hearing poison you. They tried to stifle you because they were jealous. And I feel like you went towards peace. You didn't want to make waves for your brothers. I feel like there was a brokenheartedness here about this. Very brokenhearted. Because you felt like you didn't really have kinship anymore. Like it couldn't be fixed. So the vows you took so seriously were no longer vows anymore to you. So, and you didn't really feel like fighting or revealing, because in the end they would reveal themselves. So you moved towards peace, and because of your travels, I feel like you traveled. And I'm feeling like different times here coming forward in Egypt. For some of you, this goes back to like Anubis, okay? And some of you guys were in Egypt during the Muslim Catholic type stuff that went on, the war. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. But it seems to be like these different times are kind of mixing together. So it might have been that you have both of those lifetimes. Okay. You might resonate with that. But it seems like when you made this change, and you may have had some experience with stringed instruments or some kind of instrument or music writing, but it feels very specific here, okay? Because we're broken down into 3 groups for group 2. But it feels like once you moved away from that, once you like cut off, I feel like you cut off a lot of karmic energy when you did this. And it's like you moved towards a higher purpose. And when you did that, you got this blessing of like philosophical knowledge and the ability to kind of like learn more about frequency and sound through stringed instruments. I feel like there's a lot of third eye activation with you. There's a lot of knowledge. And I feel like because you went through this, you developed this kind of bravery and nobility. Okay. You had that bravery and nobility when you left. Okay. But it was further developed here, like a noble spirit, a brave and courageous soul. And I feel like you have a depth here. And I feel like this may lead to you in this life being sorely disappointed in people's shallowness. And it may lead you to places where you feel like I cannot fucking relate to people. They are so shallow. Like I don't give a fuck what label pants you wear. I don't care. And I feel like pop culture itself may really turn you off just in general. Like you may find that you just don't relate to it. And you may have a gift for being able to really go deep. You're just a very deep well kind of energy to me. And your gift has to do with this deep thought, deep feeling, okay? And I feel like you have this ability to kind of like help people see life from this deep perspective. Because a lot of people nowadays do not see life through the eyes of gratitude. They don't live in the moment. They don't understand the power of the moment. They don't understand or appreciate a lot of the things they have and the people who came before them who made it possible for them to have those things. And depth of soul will give you gratitude. Depth of soul will make you aware of how people struggled to help you get where you are today. I feel like you have a gift, like an oratory gift. Um, you may be a writer as well, but I feel like you may be a powerful speaker. You may struggle with your throat chakra. A lot of powerful speakers do because you have powerful things to say, and because the world itself seems so vapid at times, you can find that you're conditioned to kind of shrink your voice, kind of keep it back because no one wants to hear how vapid they are, right? So you have to find a way to communicate the deeper ideas to the world, without offending, right? But I feel like in the age of Aquarius, you're going to find it much easier to speak your truth, um, and to bring the deeper thoughts you have and the deeper philosophies that you feel like you want to share forward with less filtering. Because I feel like, sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera here, because it's going to be important that you don't filter yourself. Because the truth is, people sometimes need to be offended, to be activated, to see themselves truthfully. Now, I'm not saying go out and offend people, but you know what I'm saying. Sometimes when you are a great orator or you're a great counselor or, you're just really good with your friends, sometimes you say things that they'll look at you like, I can't believe you said that to me. And it really is, a lot of times, it's just a moment of, wait a minute. And you're somebody who holds up the mirror. Also, now I don't say this lightly before I say this, okay? But I'm getting like Hikota energy. That won't be for all of you. If you know what it is, then you know, okay? But it won't be for all of you, and don't make it fit if it doesn't fit, all right? Okay, group 2B. Okay, we have this entertainer. I feel like you could be traveling with the Dark Lord over here, maybe not. Um, but it feels like you've got some problems. There's a lack of focus here. There's a lack of self-knowledge. And it could be that you're young. You're young here when you travel over. Now, I feel like for some of you, this is, if you're traveling with the Dark Lord energy, this could be like a assistant, okay? An apprentice, if you will. I'm feeling like Star Wars. For others, this feels like, if that does not resonate, this feels like a feminine energy who takes off on their own, okay? We have farm, okay? I'm seeing a girl getting on a boat, and she's holding a knapsack, okay? And I'm seeing like Greco-Roman clothes. I'm also seeing more like 1920s clothes as well. So I'm seeing the area of Greece. I'm seeing Ireland as well. We have health. I'm hearing potato famine. My whole family died. My whole family. All of them. They all died. We have unrequited love. I feel like there is an issue. I'm hearing I got stuck in the bog and couldn't get out. We have lessons and blessings. Yeah, it feels like for some of you, um, there was a baby, but it didn't live, and it was with someone who didn't want to marry. And so a lot of you felt like your reputation was ruined. So we have a lot of this kind of not feeling good about self and just getting on the fucking boat. Okay. Not knowing where we're going to go, not really having a plan. Okay. Just like, I don't have anything here. Some of you guys, like, it feels like we have a merging here of different energies. So I'm seeing France. I'm seeing someone getting on a boat. Um, so like making the cross, the land. I had to cross land. I got on the boat. Okay. And I came all the way over. Okay. So there was a land crossing and then I got on the boat. Okay. Some were running from like family who were shamed because of like a pregnancy. Um, some had had their reputation ruined. But it feels like for most, there was a loss of family members who would really be there. Like, so it feels like those who were upset were like uncles and maybe grandparents, but it feels like parents got sick and caught some kind of plague or disease that was going around. And it feels like you were left to kind of like do the best you could on a farm. They tried to help you, but it didn't work out. And there was a uh, ships passing in the night kind of thing. You thought it was one thing, it was really another. And for whatever reasons, the baby didn't live. And there was this need to kind of like leave it all behind. Some of you guys, like, you sold everything and it made family members mad. So you raced to get on the boat kind of thing. And by the time you bought the ticket, some of you had to travel across land. By the time you bought some of the things you thought you needed, and some of you guys went and partied and, you bought some things that you thought you needed, but you know what I mean. You're young. You lost just about everything. You bought some things you probably didn't need. Some of you guys developed a little drinking problem as well, which, you've been through hell. There's no judgment here. Didn't have a lot of money when you finally crossed over. Didn't really know what you were going to do. Okay, so let's get some more energy here. You did have your health, however. You had your health. Some of you had a broken heart, and you did not want to work on a farm. You were like, whatever I do, I don't want to work on the farm. And we have chicken. You're like, whatever I do, I don't want to work on a farm. And then we have the entertainer here. So I feel like you got involved in the entertainment field, so to speak. Some of you guys had some entertainment with business kind of vibes, you know what I'm saying? Some of you guys turned pro, if you know what I mean. We have active love here and now. But you did what you had to do, okay? And there's no judgment for that. We all do the things we have to do to be here and now and present. I feel like there was a lot of hard lessons along the way. And you reap them in spades with this lessons and blessings. We have be you and optimism. I feel like you getting on the boat was an act of optimism. I think you were really optimistic, but scared. And you weren't really equipped to like get on the boat by yourself and get off the boat with hardly any money. And you didn't even like know where you were going to sleep. Like you didn't know where you were going to eat. You had no idea how it worked. And I want to tell you from this perspective now that your presence, you doing that, going across the boat, some of you came to America. You have generations here because you did that. Very brave act. And I feel like you had to wrestle with a lot of self-doubt. I see people scrubbing bathrooms. I see a girl scrubbing bathrooms. I see her like fingertips bleeding from the wire bristles. Um, I see working like doing laundry. Like I'm doing a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of different things. I'm sewing. My fingertips hurt so much. They hurt so much. I'm doing everything I can to take care of myself. And you know what? Uh, I I kind of want to sing. I kind of want to be seen. I kind of want to be heard. For some of you, this is vaudeville. I feel like I'm in vaudeville. Um, for some of you, like I feel this energy, like when she landed, and I feel like this is feminine. I'm channeling a feminine energy here. I feel like I got off the boat and I headed down south because I didn't like all the people. I was born on a farm. I didn't like all the people in New York. So, you know, I did some things to get some money. You know, some things. And I got some money. I sold some of, I'm hearing like, I'm seeing a bag open up. It's an emerald colored bag and it opens up and there are some silver objects. Some of them were sold to get her down south. Now, for others, these represent what we had to do. And we had to make deals with our character. But we did what we had to do to get down there. Because I couldn't take the city. It was just too much for me. So I went down south where I thought we'd have more space. And I got, like I said, some of them stayed up there and got involved in like the vaudeville scene or this entertainment scene. And some went down south and got involved in like singing in, I'm seeing like singing in like small houses by a river. I'm seeing a river. I'm seeing a river with a small house with a with a with a with a with a screened in area. Um, it was like it was off the beaten path. Okay, not a lot of people knew where it was for some of you guys. I'm seeing like old records. I'm seeing like things were looking up for me. I have 6 of Wands. Things were looking up for me. But 10 of Cups, yes. There's no but here. Ooh, I'm feeling this connection. There's some connection. I'm hearing I met Granddaddy. I met Granddaddy. People called him Granddaddy. I called him Granddaddy. And he wasn't old. Everybody just called him Granddaddy. Because the way he could play. The way he could play. The way he could play. The Knight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. The way he could play. It was all I could do. The play he could play made me want to sing. It made me want to sing. I'm getting into this, and I feel it in these 2 locations. I'm feeling it up north. I'm feeling it down south. It just feels different in different places. Because I feel like a vaudeville kind of theme, and that might be just symbolic, okay? It could be literal. So just please take what resonates here. Group 2B, okay? And I feel this energy of like hearing, there was something about the way he played that just set my voice free. I felt heard. I felt safe. I felt like I could say anything. His music just saw through me and knew who I was. We have the Six of Cups and the Hermit. I wasn't lonely anymore. Man, I want to cry about this. You had an amazing voice. And it really was released to another level because of this other person's ability to connect with you through their music. There's a lot of pain. There was a lot of pain in the voice. And at the time, whatever time you resonate with, it was like people heard it and they felt it. And it meant so much. It meant so much to be heard and validated in that music. It was powerful. It was moving. It was uplifting. And it made people optimistic. It gave people release. And it's like, in this life, I feel like this is like an important soulmate. This is like a twin flame connection you had in this past life. And it's because of, no matter what your situation was for the reason why you made the voyage to the new world, it still took guts to do what you did. It took bravery. It took I'm just going to surrender to the world. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do when I get over there, but I'm just going to surrender. And the thing is, you had a light in you and you just needed help shining the light, like someone to help shine the light on you. And that's what this energy did. Look at this card. This person, this very special person was able to shine the light on you and release this powerful energy of your voice. Some of you guys may be singers. You may sing. And it's interesting because group 1 had the powerful orator voice. And I feel like you have a powerful voice too, but it feels like singing. Literally, you guys are singers or musicians or something. And there might be something about like someone close to you. They may be a musician or a singer or someone creative. And there's something about you two in this life connecting and being able to create something together that's so magical that helps other people. And it's beyond really words to explain how these kind of relationships help the collective. Because it's very healing, because you're making this music, this creation, at a different level. You're not making it necessarily to get rich, okay? Although for some of you, you did. You're making it because it frees your soul. You feel good. I feel like you guys put everything you had into this music, right? And I don't talk about this a lot, but I do have like well-known people who come to me and that have passed over and stuff. And, I feel like, group 2B, you could be in this category of past life as a well-known person. And I feel like the truth is that the label, the name doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter what your name was. It doesn't matter how famous you were or whatever. What matters is the effect that you had on the collective and how you can manifest that now. Because a lot of people need depth. They need to connect to their emotions. They need to know that they're validated. They need to feel that soul, that heart in the music. They need to feel the joy in the music. They need to feel those things. And I feel like you guys have a gift for that, group 2B. If you resonate with this, I feel like that's you. If you don't, you could be 2A or 2C, right? But I do feel like you have something to say. And it feels like you have an important soulmate that helps inspire that or helps you connect more deeply with that in a very magical way. Now, I feel like in this past life, I honestly feel like it went from something very traumatic, um, something very tragic, to something very happy. We have the 10 of Cups here. I feel like there were children, there was family, there was connection. Was it hard sometimes? Yes. Life can be difficult, but overall, I feel like there was happiness here. Um, for some of you, there were struggles with addiction, you know, there were struggles with being on the road, there were struggles with those kind of things. But overall, you know, it feels like it was a pretty happy life. Um, and I don't get to say that often. So, you know, take it, run with it, okay? Because we're fixing to talk about 2C, okay? Killer guide. Hides their insanity well, manipulative, childhood traumas, family dysfunctions, cannot empathize with others, psychopath. Guide, thinks they know best for others, lost, overinflated ego, their word is gospel, thinks they know others better, misguided. So I feel like this person was literally running, okay, was on the run, on the lam, from a crime either they committed or they were suspected of committing. Okay, so it may be that they were completely innocent. I will absolutely give them that. Okay, but they were on the lam and they went as far as they could. They may have been in that group that was like, I have this amount of money, get me as far away from this place as possible. Now, I don't feel a lot of air travel here. I feel this was mostly boats and trains and things like that. I feel like this group may have been the group that went to Australia as well, or as far away as possible from origin. Okay, I feel like some of them went to, I'm hearing China. Okay, so some of them, I went to the coldest place possible. I went to Norway. Okay, all right, so let's get some more. Whoops, that's a lot. That's a lot. So let's get a few out of these. Tell me more. Tell me about my group 2C. Okay, tell me about this past life. Tell me about this. We have Atlantis here. That card just really wanted to come out. Okay, tell me more about this. We have knighthood. Okay. I think you're an Atlantean soul. Okay. That's what I feel. I'm going to take 2 more cards. You're an Atlantean soul. I don't think this new world energy necessarily is the Atlantis energy, but they may be wanting to talk about that too. So it could be. Because I feel like you may have made it out of Atlantis. We also have authority figures, knighthood, give me one more, and we have male, female. Okay. So it feels like there was this knight energy was either set up for murder, okay, or actually did. I want to get more into this, so tell me more about this. And then we have the Atlantis energy. I feel like most of you guys were really set up. You were set up. You were set up by authority figures. Okay. You may be really interested in Atlantis or you feel pulled to Atlantis, okay? There may be something there for you. Don't ignore it, okay? I was framed. I was framed for her murder. Okay, a noble woman. This noble woman had to do with a king. She was a courtesan of the king. Okay, we have spirit throne. Ooh. Okay. We have act of love, forgiveness, and faith. I feel like there's this energy of like, I could not have any more illegitimate children. I feel like this is a prince and a king energy. I could not have my father, I could not have any more illegitimate children, or I could not have an illegitimate child. We have explorer, defense. Okay, so, and I feel like what happened here is they really set off to kind of like get rid of her. Let's lower this a little bit so you can see. There you go. Woo, you went for a ride. I feel like this is messy. It's messy. And it feels like, and by spirit throne here, I feel like honestly, there's an aspect of you that kind of probably haunts this castle. Okay, because it feels like there's a castle. There is a prince that I feel like he got involved with someone who, of course, that he could not have children with. They weren't noble, okay? They weren't of noble birth. So that woman was done in with, and you were blamed or you were called to do it. And I feel like either way, I feel like it caused a major issue for you. I think many of you were set up though. Um, and I feel like when you passed over, you went back to the castle and haunted it. Okay. Just take what resonates here. All right. Because I feel like that happening was so shocking for you if you did actually commit this, because you had a vow, right? And you took it seriously. There's definitely spiritual presence here. And, I feel like you guys left. You just took off. And you went far enough to where you felt like you wouldn't be found. Which is deserter. You're like a deserter, but you went far enough where you wouldn't be found. And I'm feeling like I'm seeing like Haiti, but it would it have been called Haiti back then? I don't know, like Haiti. It feels like you got on an explorer's boat and ended up in like the Caribbean. And it doesn't feel like it's been really explored that much. Is like, it wasn't necessarily desertion as much as you just kind of like shifted where you were working, if that makes sense. Okay. For some of you, it was desertion, but just take what resonates here. But I feel like there was just this need to leave this behind. Because I feel like a lot of you felt very bad about this. I feel like the woman still haunts that castle. She doesn't haunt her home where she died. She haunts the castle. And I feel like she carries her infant with her. Okay. Anyway, I feel like there was this kind of relief you had in like exploring, like spending time exploring like these different islands. Did you become a pirate? Is that what happened? Did you become a pirate? It kind of started to feel like you became a fucking pirate. Like you did this thing that you did not want to do, perhaps, or you were framed for it, and you were like, fuck it, I'm going to be a pirate. And you went and became a pirate, or an explorer of some kind. And you had a lot of interesting experiences. I see like you had like lots of relations with different peoples, and I'm seeing like lots of treasure, okay? But I don't feel like you necessarily had your hands on it. I feel like a lot of you just were just hands on the boat and you enjoyed traveling. It feels like there was, for some of you, I feel like you passed on the boat. There was, okay, I'm seeing like a storm, and then there's like a drifting. I don't know what would cause, like, perhaps you got off course or something. But it's almost like you got stuck in like the Bermuda Triangle, or you got off course here. I'm seeing a mist, and I'm hearing like voices. I'm hearing like calls of voices. It's almost like either this is either from starvation, or this is like some kind of fungus in the food, or perhaps you're having a paranormal experience. But it feels like there was a drifting at sea, and I feel starvation here. I feel dehydration um, for you guys. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. And I feel like you were independent, you were able to kind of like get out into the world and experience some things, the Nine of Swords, but it was difficult, the Five of Swords, you weren't the captain of the ship, you just took whatever and you kind of went with it. And I feel like you guys might have a fear of the ocean, fear of water. I feel like some of you escaped from Atlantis, but probably were adrift at sea, and perhaps passed away at sea from starvation, as in this life. I feel like there's a drawing, like being drawn to water, drawn to the ocean. You may be drawn to water magic. You may be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Um, you may have a difficulty like being on boats. You may get seasick. So I feel like different levels of this energy with water. I feel a lot of emotion here that's kind of like pent up, and being on the water or being in water may help you get better grounded to your emotions as well. Um, I feel like for many of you, there was some kind of peace even at the end, because you were like, well, if I'm going to pass away, at least it's on this boat. Like, because I feel like you loved being at sea and you loved exploring. It was good. Even though there was bad circumstances that got you into this, I feel like it was good. Some of you guys were straight up a pirate. Y'all were pirates, and you're very good at it. We have the Queen of Swords, we have the Seven of Swords. Yeah. For some reason, this is giving me a pirate vibe, okay? And I feel like that part of your life, you really got to live your way, okay? Now, I'm seeing, like, for some of you, your boat was found later, okay, by a bigger vessel. And they found your bodies, and they just kind of buried y'all at sea. Some of you guys were just thrown overboard, kind of thing. And they took all the gold. I feel like it's another pirate kind of situation, although bigger pirates. Okay, some of you guys, your boat was found by, is it Bluebeard? Was that the big pirate? He's he's telling me I'm the big pirate. I'm the pirate that got all the shit. I'm the pirate that hid all the shit. I'm the pirate that everyone talks about. We took everything from that boat. We dumped the bodies in the ocean. Take what resonates here, okay? I'm not really up on pirates, so wasn't expecting to get a pirate in 2C, but here we are. So I feel like you have a gift of curiosity, and your drawing to the water is part of your gift of exploration, your gift of being able to open up your boundaries and discover new things. There's also this wild heart energy that you have. Your wildness is a gift, because not a lot of people are able to like touch on this need to kind of like explore new things and be in their more primal energy. Your primal energy really is a key to your vitality. And you may be a Sagittarius, because there's a lot of expansive energy here. I feel like in this life, you may have issues with like people kind of holding you back, people trying to keep you at bay. You may have people who really screw you over a lot, or try to get you to take the fall, or throw you under the bus. So you may not trust many people, and you may find that you find freedom in certain groups of people, like pirates, not literally, but you know what I'm saying? Like your freedom lies with your tribe, and finding your tribe is really going to help bring out more of this explorer energy, more of this wild heart energy. And I feel like you can help inspire people with this, and you can also inspire yourself with this energy, of allowing yourself to be more exploring. Like allow yourself more exploration of those things that set you on fire, instead of pulling yourself back. Now, those things should be, of course, they should be legal and consensual and all those things. But I feel like in your life, you may find that there's a lot of rules, or there has been a lot of rules about what you can explore. And what I'm getting here is it's key for you to really kind of like allow your wild heart expression. It's going to bring you a lot of really good things. And you're going to inspire other people by doing those things that set you on fire. All right? Okay, group two, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful and insightful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group three, all of you that selected enter. This is going to be your reading all about your most gifted past life and how it affects you now. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Isn't this a beautiful card? I am struck by the beauty of this card. I feel like you created a lot of beauty in this past life. And I'm really drawn to images of gardens, and temples here. I'm drawn to like showing people what I did. Like I did this. Look what I did for you kind of energy. So let's get into this. I'm seeing like the Taj Mahal. So that's interesting. I'm seeing the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. I'm seeing different ancient structures with gardens. I'm seeing like private, very upscale residences with gardens. I'm seeing them in different time periods now unfolding. You may have a gift of with plants. You may grow things. You may have a business that you know how to grow. You may just know how to create things. I don't mean just, but you may know how to create things that just tend to grow. We have bon vivant, unorthodox spirit, low self-control, reckless, extreme excess, hedonistic, fueled by unbridled passion, and shallow. Okay? We have go-between, control and steer everyone else's experiences, intolerant, impatient, critical, irritable, cold, dependent on the happiness of others, judges. Okay, can I get a couple more cards here, please? Can I get a couple more cards here, please, for my group three? Can I get a couple more cards, please? Oh, that's a lot more cards. That is a lot more cards. Okay, we're going to take that one. And yeah, well, that's too many. Let's take that one and we'll take these. Okay. All right. I'm going to read the two that are upright, okay, because I feel like there's a lot of heavy energy here. We have creator in the negative, ideas without execution, ego-driven, copycat, mediocre vision, vain, perfectionist. I'm getting a vibe here. Unoriginal, melodramatic, willing to sacrifice self for their art. Then we have these two cards. Tomboy, laid back, unrefined, possesses traditional masculine traits, isn't easily offended, and can stand alone, shifts idea of what femininity looks like. Midas, balance between gaining and losing fortune. Generous, giving, entrepreneurial, creative, good problem solver, highly self-motivated. I'm picking up on a very creative yet kind of tormented soul. Um, I feel like very creative here, to the point where you're willing to sacrifice yourself for your creativity. For some of you, you created some very famous gardens, okay, well-known gardens. You were part of the team that created it or took care of it. Okay. For some of you, I'm seeing farms. I'm seeing like irrigation. I'm seeing like you helped create farms that fed a lot of people. Okay. But you were very important in this matter. All right. You were very important. Some of you guys were very powerful herbalists. I'm a herbalist for the king. I'm a herbalist for the queen. I'm a herbalist for the high priestess. I'm a herbalist for the witch queen. Oh, okay. I feel like there is a self-torturing energy for some of you guys, and it has to do around masculine and feminine energy and the struggle. It could be with sexuality and things like that. And I feel like for some of you, this wasn't imposed outside yourself. For some of you, it was. Okay. I do feel like with the Midas here, I feel like you were very prosperous. Like you were able to produce a lot of stuff. You were very productive. I think if you worked for somebody, you made them a lot of money. I feel like also you probably had a tyrant for a boss. You were probably part of a creative team at times that created these structures and these gardens and things. And I feel like at times you worked for absolute tyrants, that made it very difficult for you to be happy. And so I feel like a lot of you found happiness in the art of this herbalism, connecting with the plants. Some of you guys have a very deep connection to plants, okay? Very deep, to trees, to nature itself. Very deeply, you may be an earth sign. I feel a deep connection to animals. I'm seeing cats, dogs, horses, bunny rabbits. I feel like some of you guys like animals and plants more than people. And this lifetime tells me why. I feel like very successful, most of you, lived well, but got treated like shit. Okay. The people who treated you like shit knew you were very creative and very talented. It wasn't that. It's that they were tyrants. They had power and they wanted things a certain way when they fucking wanted it. And they didn't really care that you were a human being. You know, they felt that you got what your position allotted you. And because of that, you should do what I say, period. We have wars and battles here. Tell me more. Tell me more about my group 3. We have biblical. For some of you, you were involved with a kingdom that was around the biblical times, okay? And you were involved in some very lush and well-known gardens. We have mother. Some of you guys had some issues with your mother. I'm feeling like early death of your mother, or your mother had bad health. That may be in this life as well, okay? You may be a mother that doesn't have good health in this life. I'm just feeling like health issues around the feminine energy. We have lessons and blessings. Okay, I'm going to get one more. I'm starting to see with wars and biblical here, I'm starting to see like an actual like sacking of a town, of a city. I'm also seeing like a fire. We have Asia. So it might also have been in Asia during the biblical times as well. Okay, so I'm feeling like for some of you, this has to do with like Buddhist or Shinto religion in Asia. and also around cultural norms. Okay. And I'm picking up on a time period. Um, and it feels like it's Japanese. Okay. Japanese. It could be another Asian culture. Um, I'm trying to feel out which other area. It feels like, I'll tell you what it feels like. It feels like a restrictive kind of social norms here. And it feels very stressful. I feel very stressed by this. I have to kind of like, there are social norms that are very important that if we don't abide by them, that there are costs. There is social taboos here. And I feel like for some of you, there has been some bending of a social taboo here, and that's what the pressure is. And it's different for each one of you, okay? And it might not be for all of you, but I feel that. I feel that kind of pressure. Um, and it feels like there's also this demanding energy. Some of you may have worked for an emperor, okay, an imperial leader of some kind, a warlord. I see someone painting on the walls of a warlord's home. And this is the home where he keeps his most beloved children and his most beloved concubine. He doesn't like his wife. It's a warlord that doesn't like his wife. Okay, he doesn't really like his main wife very well. Um, and this his favorite concubine, beloved above his wife, is from the area of like Tibet. Okay. Um, I also feel this energy of like creating clay figures for an emperor, and we're creating clay figures. So I'm picking up on other energies besides the gardening. Okay. I do feel there is the little trees. I'm seeing people work on little trees and big trees and sculpting the trees into these magnificent shapes, like topiary, only they're small. What are those called? It's just out of my head all of a sudden. I had it and it's gone. But I see that as well. I see like someone creating a very peaceful, stylistic gardens. I'm seeing cherry blossoms as well. I'm feeling someone create these gardens in like the name of a mother, okay, a mother who passed as well. Um, there's just a lot of creativity around plants for a lot of you. I also feel like the painting that was taking place, a lot of that was nature painting. Okay, so there's another connection to nature there as well. Um, it's just really flooding in this like beautiful energy of the flow of nature through you. Okay, a lot of you in this life, you may have a super green thumb. You may be drawn to herbalism. You also could be a very good cook. You could be really good with food. I'm also seeing now a young man. He's wearing like a golden, like a white, long, fancy like jacket, but it's sewn down the middle and it has golden thread. And he's wearing a hat that has a little tassel on the top and black pants, and there's a little cuff around them, and it's gold. And he's got these dogs, and I swear he's got like six of these really big dogs, and he's in charge of these dogs. They're the imperial dogs, and they are special dogs. They're special dogs. They're not just any kind of dog. And he would often, wow, he would often hand these off like to royalty. okay, to royal hands. So it was a very special kind of connection there. Why do I feel like crying all of a sudden? I feel like crying. I was happy life, happy life. I got to be with the dogs. I got to be with dogs. I love dogs. I love dogs. People were horrible. Dogs were wonderful. Um, it was very happy, very happy. Now I'm getting like Egyptian vibes and I'm getting cats. I'm getting someone who's a caretaker of cats in a temple. Okay, so that might be you. Um, I'm feeling like your life was devoted to the cats, a priestess of the cats. Um, I'm feeling like almost like feeling like animism, where I feel like a cat. Like I'm in this temple, I'm with these cats, and I feel like a cat. I feel like I'm going to channel cat energy. I feel a powerful presence of like Basset. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. Sekhmet. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. I'm horrible with pronouncing uh, words sometimes. So, but I feel this very powerful like cat energy coming forward. So that might be you as well. Woo! It's powerful, you guys. Um, and I feel like these moments of like clarity and connection with nature energetically, creatively, joyfully really helped get you through dealing with the bullshit of these tyrants. Many of you guys worked with royalty, you worked with like people who had a lot of money, you worked with people in royal houses, uh, you just you worked with people who were tyrants in many ways because they were so powerful. So you took a lot of joy in what you did, or you wouldn't have done it. Um, I do feel like at some point, some of you guys couldn't leave your job if you wanted to. After a while, it was like, well, you're here at the king's leisure, and the king hasn't released you from their leisure, so there you go. You're not going anywhere until they release you, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So let's find out more about this life. I feel like you guys are gifted with nature. We have a natural gift with the elements. For many of you, you may be like caregivers of animals. You may work with animals. Okay, I'm not taking any reversals, so just so you know, I got the Nine of Swords here. Okay, tell me more. We have the Chariot. Tell me more. We have the Page of Pentacles. I'm picking up on like the end of this life here. Like after dealing with the tyrant energy for so long, but really loving what you did. Some of you guys, you took care of the gardens you created, or you were caretaker of the building you created. Some of you guys were painters. You painted art. You painted nature as art. So you got to do that and you enjoyed it. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Hangman in reverse. But we're not going to take reversals. And we have the Ten of Cups. Okay. So it feels like a lot of you kind of stayed in this highly stressed state for a while. I feel like because you enjoyed the work, and at that time, enjoying your work and living a pretty decent life was a good thing. That was a good life. So I feel like you stayed there a while. I do feel like there was a lot of like um, some self-torture going on as well over certain aspects. But overall, I feel like, you stayed in the job, you did what you did because you got to create beautiful things, you got to create beauty. I think you took a lot of pride in what you did. Um, and I think people saw your talent. I think the tyrants, even though they were tyrants, when they saw your work, the reaction they gave, the gifts and acclaim they gave you was so wonderful. And I think because of the wonderful work you did, a lot of you guys got to kind of live in the state for a while where you got to do what you wanted. You had to deal with this kind of asshole energy. But for that time of life, it was what it was. But I feel like slowly motion started to happen in your life, change started to come forward for you. And it was slow, but I feel like for some of you, it was a change of leadership. Um, there was a change of, oh, we're going to change the space. Oh, we need you for this or that. And there was a move. I feel like some of you guys moved out of the palace, or you moved out of your garden, or wherever you were taking care of things. For some of you, like if you were painting, I feel like you just kind of moved towards the coast, away from where you were. For some of you, you just saved your money to be able to move away. For some of you, you had the money to kind of like move away. And I feel like the end of your life was happy. It took a long time to get there, but the years that you had at the end were very fulfilling. You had a lot of fulfilling connections. Some of you guys, that's where you were able to kind of like settle down into perhaps a complex relationship for that time, but a fulfilling one. Um, for some of you, you had a family and were able to live that life for some time. And I feel like for many of you, there's this energy of it was worth it to get here. It was worth it to have the experiences that you had here. Um, Now, that's the energy of this person saying that in this life. Now, I think you, as the person looking into this life, you may say, nah, there was a lot there. There was a lot of enduring. Um, I think you have to kind of like look at the situation as, you know, times were rough. They were really rough. So this person was able to kind of like express their creativity and be prosperous. And the one thing they had to deal with was tyrants and people who were very entitled and those kind of things. And there were people back then that would have given everything to been able to do that. So um, I think there was an air of gratitude with this person that ushered in a time of life where there was some joy here. There was connections. I feel like they moved away and they found these connections. It doesn't feel like these connections carried with them. I do feel like some of you who worked with animals got to take like one of the dogs with you or one of the cats with you. Some of you got to take cuttings from plants with you. Like you were able to take some of that with you. Um, and I feel like in this life, um, your family is probably really important. I feel Taurus energy here, Libra energy again. I feel Cancer energy. All the earth signs, so Virgo, Capricorn, as well. Feeling the Pisces rising specifically, feeling that. Um, I feel like for a lot of you, your family, having a sense of home is really important. And I'm getting like a really specific message for you. Um, I feel like this life, you're going to be entering a time where you're going to find home, this home you create for yourself. And this could be your soul tribe. It could be literally a house. It could be that you create a home where you are right now. Some of you guys have been longing for a place you call home and have had a hard time finding it. And I feel like it's coming for you. And you may have been dealing with kind of like harsh judgment, restriction. Perhaps you've seen other people kind of like reap a lot of rewards around you, but you haven't. Um, Perhaps you've struggled with your own identity and you've kind of stagnated in certain kinds of energies and you felt blocked, like you can't move forward. And I feel like for you in this life, there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of creativity here, and it feels like it needs expression through nature, whether it's you painting nature or growing with nature or cooking with nature, whatever this expression is, it feels very powerful because it feels like it's joyful. It feels like it's done because it makes you happy. Perhaps this is connection with animals as well. But it feels like it really helps you usher in new beginnings. It helps you feel hopeful. Um, and I really feel like there is a new beginning coming for my group 3. And it is around this 10 of Cups. And it has to do with your compassion. It has to do with the love that you give, the love you give to other people. I feel like you've given so much. The universe sees you. The universe saw you in this past life. You made so many people happy. You inspired so many people to get in touch with nature. You gave people moments of joy through your art, and you may not realize that, okay? In this life, you do the same, but in different ways, right? You may not have done it exactly the same in this past life, but it manifests in this life too. And it seems like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get that Midas touch. Like things just can't seem to get going for you. It always seems to miss you somehow. And it's been slowly manifesting, and I mean slow. And it's slow because it's grounded. It's real. It's going to stay. It's going to stick because it's home. It's life. It's happiness. It's joy. It's all those things that you're hungry for that you haven't been able to find your way to. Because you've been in this energy of kind of observing it happening to others and it seeming to miss you. Let's get a little bit more energy on the 10 of Cups. Tell me more about this 10 of Cups, more about this happiness coming. We have the journey. It's a new road. The enter. Something beautiful is being created for you. You already created it by all the compassion, love, and gifts you've given. One of your gifts is compassion, charity. I feel like there's just this energy of care here. We have on track. Your journey is right where it needs to be. You may not feel like it. You may not feel like it, okay? Because it feels slow. It feels like I watch everybody else get the prize. I watch everybody else eat the pie, but there's never any pie for me. How come it's like that? Uriel and the Sphinx. That's past life energy. That is very Egyptian energy. Again, showing up. Okay. You may have a past life in Egypt. I picked that up in group 2. I'm certain in group 2 and probably group 1. We're going to get another card and another. The King of Keys and the King of Scrolls. Okay, so what I'm getting here is I feel like the path, the road that's opening is going to provide you with keys to a different kind of joy in your life, like deep, intense levels of happiness, okay? And you're going to absolutely know how to get there, okay? You're absolutely going to know. You're going to have the map on a scroll. Your guides are going to provide signs along the way, okay? There's going to be signs. What are the signs? What are the signs going to be? Tell me the signs. Cats, dogs, birds, bats are going to be signs on your journey. It's important, group 3, that you pay attention to the signs, okay? I'm hearing 11, 12, 11, 11, 12, 12, or 1, 2, 2, 1 as well. Okay, give me some more clarity here. You're right where you need to be. You haven't made any, there hasn't been any mistakes on your journey. Okay, you're right where you need to be. Don't ever doubt this, okay? I know this has been slow, but see, your kingdom's right ahead. The road is going to be open for you, and you're going to know how to get there. The clarity is coming for you. This happiness, this fulfillment. Okay, we have the Lovers here. I can't show you the card because, you know, their stuff. Okay. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to find true love. For many of you, it's going to start with self. A lot of this doubt, a lot of this kind of fighting self is going to find a peaceful resolution, because you're going to find peace in the fact that you're being who you are. And you can't change who you are like that. You're authentically who you are. You can't mold yourself into what you're not, okay? And a peace comes in to your life when you just start to accept that. You know, you stop warring with yourself. You stop constantly battling with yourself over your vessel, over how you are, you know. Self-knowledge. There is a big inflow of self-awareness that happens here. Also, I feel like for a lot of you, there's love here. There is either realization that the person you're with is your person, or someone's coming in that is meant for you. And is going to really open up the road of happiness, real happiness, authentic happiness, not the kind of happiness that you have to fake or convince yourself that you're happy. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, it's a slow manifestation because it is sure. It is stable. Many of you guys probably have wanted stability, and that's what you're getting, okay? I feel like a lot of you have a gift for nature, for growing things, creating herbs or growing herbs, or creating herbal compounds or oils or potions or something like that. I encourage you, if you haven't gotten into that, start looking into that, okay? Because many of you guys have a special touch with those things. And if you're drawn to it, there may be something there for you. So follow your curiosities, okay? All right, group 3, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful, insightful, and an enjoyable reading. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me your thumbs up. And I will see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group 4, all of you that selected magic, this is going to be your reading all about your most gifted past life and how it affects you now. So keep in mind, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. This is a beautiful card. Look at that mirror. Isn't that awesome? Well, obviously, you guys are very magical. You may be a witch. You may be a high magic user. You may be into ritual magic. I feel like if you don't resonate with being like a magical person, group 4 may not resonate for you. I'm just feeling that off the top of my head. So, you know, take what resonates here. Okay. All right. So let's draw some cards. Magic. And we have a mirror here, a magic mirror. Your past life, you may be someone who scryed. You may have worked in a temple scrying. You may have scryed for a king or a queen or royalty. I feel like some of you guys may have been oracles. You may have been oracles of Apollo, where people came to see you. They made like pilgrimages to see you. Some of you guys, I feel like you're witches. And I see people living out in the woods as well. So let's get some energy. Tell me about my group 4. Tell me about my group 4's the most gifted past life. You're definitely gifted in magical arts, I'm hearing. Okay. I have 1 here. We have ninja, equipped with many different tools. Disciplined, spiritual refinement, patient, master disguised, observant, and stealth-like. Yeah, I feel that. You sneak up on people, don't you? They can't see you coming. Nope, they couldn't see you coming then either. Yeah, I feel power here. I feel a lot of power. Very powerful energy. We have crime fighter, strong sense of right and wrong, driven, dedicated, adventurous, conscientious, criminal justice, fair play, goal-oriented. Very powerful. I think you really cared about doing the right thing. And I feel like you really tried to always do the right thing, even when it didn't look right. We have wounded healer, resourceful, good listener, empathic, understands shadow side and ways to heal, uses painful experiences to help others, and accepts it. I feel like that's you now. That's your energy now. Okay, tell me more. Give me a little bit more energy here for my group 4. Okay, we have hermit. Wisdom, self-knowledge, introvert, reflection, silence, need for space and time, connection to natural world, intuition. I feel that both. I feel that here and now and then. I think you were a wise person, a wise woman, wise man. Soothsayer. I'm hearing soothsayer. Soothsayer. I feel like you helped heal people with ointments and potions. I feel like you healed people with your words. Some of you guys were involved in practices where you became possessed by the spirits to heal. Tell me more about my group 4. Tell me more about their past life here. Tell me more about my group 4. Tell me more. Okay, we have player. Okay. We have things. I feel like some of you guys made charms. You made magical objects. You still can in this life. You may be an enchanter. We have absence and home. Okay. I feel like in this past life, I feel like you really didn't have a sense of home. Some of you guys like grew up without parents, without a father. You may have been like a child of the temple, so to speak. You may have been an orphan. Also, if you like were an oracle or a high priestess or a priestess or a soothsayer, a necromancer, you may have not had a lot of family ties because of your work with the temple. And I feel like there is kind of a void there. It feels like, you know, the longing to belong, the longing for kind of normalcy, if you will, because I feel like you guys probably feel that a little bit in your life, because I feel like you guys are psychic, you're gifted, magically gifted, however you want to label it. Some of you guys just know things. Some of you may be drawn to group 3 as well. Group 3 may have something there for you. Tell me more about my group 4. Tell me more about my group 4. I feel like this absence in this life of not having a lot of like close family left an impact on you. It really did. I feel like you were really good for other people. You really helped heal people. You were really there for people. But I feel like there's just an emptiness. When others would see their family or whatnot, it would leave you empty. Now, for some of you, it was practice to not have family connections after a certain time because of your position. Okay, it was cultural norms dictated that, but it didn't make it feel any less difficult. I'm seeing like children going into a monastery, and it feels like a Tibetan monastery or like a Buddhist monastery. Yeah, it feels also like also the priesthood, going into the priesthood very young. So I'm getting different vibes here. Okay. And I feel like there's this energy of being able to help other people and heal people and make such really powerful impacts on the community, but in your own life, having kind of this hermit type experience. Okay, we have Basset. Basset, I hope I said that right. Protection, beauty, love, fertility. Defend yourself. It's time to strike. Um, I feel like you really, in this past life, you really had this feeling that others, and it feels like a temple structure. There was always like this feeling of, it's almost like competition or someone out to get you kind of thing. That won't be for all of you. It almost feels like someone trying to take over or something like that. Um, it feels like you always had kind of a need to defend yourself, and I'm seeing that in different temples. I'm seeing that in different places now. Especially I'm seeing like the house in the woods. So the witches who were on their own definitely felt this need to always kind of defend themselves and be ready to protect themselves. And I feel this energy of being invisible a lot of times, like trying to lay low and be invisible as much as possible. And I'm feeling like this energy of the local witch now, the local wise woman, the local worker, who you went to when you got sick, who you went to when you had a problem with your husband, who you went to when you had a problem with the girl who won't stop talking at the community bath, that kind of thing. I'm hearing like hexing and cursing and bursts. I'm seeing like pain control. I'm seeing beauty and glamour magic. And I'm seeing this done at different times. Like I'm seeing bottles and amulets. I feel like you made amulets, you made things. Some of you guys made more amulets than others. Some of you guys dealt with abraxas. Okay. You were in some kind of cult that used abraxas with your objects, okay? You put them on objects. You put abraxas on objects for protection, all right? And other things. So I feel like in this life, you know more than you think you do. I feel like you have some hidden wisdom that perhaps you aren't aware you really know. I know that sounds really off the wall, but a lot of times, and I say this to people, but I really want to say it to you because I feel like there's a whole other level of awareness within you that is just really dying to come out, like come out of this magic mirror over here. And it has to do with you going more deeply into your curiosities and allowing memories and awarenesses to come forward and not to make them fit, but to allow them to kind of like place themselves where they belong. How does that happen? Sometimes when I follow my curiosities, when I do that, I'll read things and I'll be like, how does this doesn't make sense. I don't force it to make sense. I no longer say things like it doesn't make sense. I let it lie and I allow the universe, my spirits, my journey to kind of like place that information where it belongs. And I tell you, 10 out of 10 times it does. And it starts to make sense when it's supposed to. It's almost like following our curiosities is another form of a download. You kind of download energy and information that's interesting, and you allow yourself to go on this mysterious journey of uncovering how it fits into your life and your own journey. Because really, the journey is why we're here. Okay. The end result is going to be the same. and long term for all of us. Okay, let's get some more energy here. Tell me more about my magical group 4. All of the gifts that you had in this life, you can pull forward in this life. All the knowledge you can pull forward in this life. Okay, some of you guys were very mastered in this life. You had a lot of self-mastery, and you had very high level people who depended on you and trusted you, and you were very accurate on the things that you did. And I feel like some of you guys need to learn to trust your magic more. Trust your gut. Trust yourself. Okay, we have initiation and the Count of Saint Germain. Okay, trust your gut more. You know more than you think you do. Allow your higher self to kind of come in, your guardian angel, your spirit guide, whatever you want to call it, your ancestors. Allow that higher, different intelligence, that universal consciousness intelligence to come in and kind of guide you in this realm, okay? Because in the realm of magic, things are different, all right? Things can be strange and weird. I will say to you, it's very important that you touch grass often. It's very important that you get in the elements and ground yourself often, because you are very magical. And sometimes the magical self can get kind of carried away. And sometimes when we get too carried away, we can get ourselves into some murky water. So it's always important to stay grounded, group 4. Okay. But allow the wonder of your magic to take place. All right. But always leave room for logic. I pulled the Oracle of Delphi. Okay. So many of you were an oracle. You were an Oracle of Delphi. Okay, an Oracle of Apollo. You may be a Sibylline. Is that how you say it? Oracle. Some of you were one of the Maidids, the Bacchantes. I'm getting all kinds of terms now. I'm hearing like prophets, prophetess, prophets. And people listened to you. You really helped people in their life. I feel like some of you guys helped kings and queens and empresses and emperors, imperial people, leaders, with your ability for prophecy. Some of you guys did this in wartime. You helped them move their troops. And you also help save lives with that as well. Okay, tell me more. We have the treasure. Beautiful. This is so beautiful. I feel like you guys don't realize, but you're the treasure. Okay. A lot of people in this lifetime treasured you. And unfortunately, because of temple structures, because of different social norms, you weren't always shown it directly. Sometimes people paid the temple. Sometimes people in certain towns and social structures couldn't like show you how much you meant to them, because it might not have worked out well for them, you know. But people really had a heart for you and they cared about you. I'm seeing like people sneaking you food in baskets and leaving it at your door. I'm seeing like people sending you perfume anonymously, things like that in temples, trying to kind of get you some nice things to let you know. Although for some of you, temple life was very easy for you. It just depends on what was going on. But I feel like it's important for you to know that you're treasured. Your magic is treasured. What you do for other people is treasured. The work you've done with your shadow, I'm not going to ignore that. I see the shadow work. I see what you've done. I see the heavy lifting that you've done for the collective in this life. You did it back then. You're doing it now. You may be one of those people that in some shape or form in every lifetime, you've been magical. Somehow. It's just been a part of who you are. It's a part of your essence. And somehow in almost every life you've ever lived, multidimensionally, you've manifested magic. You have a very special gift, and the powers of it build, okay? They build one on top of another. And in this life, you have the ability to take it even to a more expansive place. But in order for you to do that, you have to honor yourself as the treasure that you are, okay? You can't allow yourself to become too run down. You can't overgive, okay? You have to be in balance, all right? Because you have so much power here that it needs to be kept at a good balance, or the drain of it could actually cause some physical issues for you. It could leave you in states of lack that, and it doesn't mean that you don't have the energy, you're just not able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Access it, okay? You're not able to access it. Because of the state that you're in, of being tired, feeling drained, okay? The energy's still there, though. Nobody's taking it from you. I'm not taking any reversals. Tell me more about my group 4. Tell me more. Okay, some of you guys may be in denial. You may be spirit mediums as well, and you may be in denial of your connection to the realm of the dead. It may make you uncomfortable. I understand this. I was uncomfortable with my gifts for most of my life, okay, because of, I knew it wasn't acceptable. I knew it wasn't okay, you know, and I feel like for you guys, the sooner that you work through any issues you have with any of your gifts, the better off you're going to be, okay? The more you realize that it really is a gift, it's a treasure, okay? And you're meant to bring it forward into this life. You're meant to express your magical ability in this life. You're meant to use it to help not just yourself, but other people as well. But let me say, you're meant to use it to help yourself. It's not a bad thing to use your magic to help yourself, okay? Use it to help others as well. You have that gift for a reason, okay? All right, let's get some of these tarot cards here. Tell me more about my group 4. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay, I'm not taking any reversals. We have the Tower. I feel like, and I'm just going to tell you, I have felt this from the beginning. Your baneful work is no joke. You can cause just massive chaos in people's lives. And I feel like when people cause chaos in your life, it's like they don't see it coming. They don't see you coming. They don't see shit coming. But you are a chaotic storm when provoked. And you do it with such precision. It's scary. You terrify people before you ever even energetically come near someone. I feel like some of you guys, you don't even have to do anything to people. You don't have to do any kind of work. I feel like a lot of you guys have such a close relationship with spirits and whatnot that you don't really have to do anything. Your energy just sends off such a powerful signature that when people try to fuck with you, it's like, oh no, sis. Oh no, we don't do that. You didn't see this coming, did you? Okay, so now you got a tower going on in your life. What are you going to do about it? Because now you have a problem. I don't have the problem. You have the problem. And I feel like you hold back a lot of your power. You hold a lot of it back because you know that this can happen to people when they fuck with you. You take your power very seriously, okay? You take it very seriously. Okay, tell me more. Tell me more. I feel like you have gotten to a place, or you're going to be getting to a place in your own life where when the towers come, you see this now as the winds of change, and you understand that when chaos starts to move in your life, it's the beginning of your magic starting to flow, starting to make those changes. And sometimes it sucks, but we ask for the change, and here it is. And we're not taking reversals. We have the 6 of Swords here. I feel like when people feel the real power of your magic, they don't fuck with you. I feel like you scare people. I feel like you intimidate people when I feel like on the outside, it's all this, and I'm feeling like Disney, happy magic, boo, 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 boo. And then when they really get behind that, they're like, oh shit, they are the real fucking deal. And I don't want to fuck with that. You know, this is like an ancient witchy soul that I do not want to fuck with. And they've been a witch a lot, a lot, thousands of times probably. I do feel like you have this wonderful ability to recover from chaos. I think you have this magical ability to kind of like help others also see the way out of chaos and bad situations. I think it's because you've been through so much. Some of you guys have wisdom of ages. You just have all the wisdom of all the lifetimes you've lived. You just know things, and you know how to help people set sail for a new course after the tower falls. I feel like you help calm people down when their towers are coming. Some of you guys may be counselors in this life. Okay, you kind of taken your magical ability and applied it to counseling or healing people in some kind of healing modality in this life. Okay, we have justice. I feel like you are the hands of justice to many people. And you don't mind being that. You're fine with that in this life, being the hand of justice. Somebody has to do it, okay? And I feel like in this past life, you did that. You did that with spell work. You did that with a lot of the work you did. And I also feel like for some of you, there's this energy of like weighing the scales of people in temples. Some of you guys took offerings on scales. Some of you guys literally judged people's like issues, like a judge. Like they came to a priestess to help them decide like a dispute, and you did that. You helped. Maybe this is the forerunner of judges. Like they would come in to see a high priestess or a high priest and present their situation and have them make a decision about what should you do? What is the clarity here? They would help give them clarity, like a counselor in situations. Okay, I'm getting that. And so you may feel in this life, it may trickle into this life. You may be involved in law or feel guided to be like in law or counseling in some kind of way. This won't be for all of you, but it's just coming in so strongly. That is too many cards. Give me one more card. One more card, please. One more card. Bottom. Okay, we have the Sun. Beautiful card. This is a gorgeous card. I feel a lot of positive energy for you guys, and it's a ladder. It's a ladder. I feel like your magical expansion is endless. You guys have done this so many times, and some of you guys may feel like, and I don't mean this egotistically, but some of you guys may be like, I don't know how I could expand my magic anymore. I feel like it's pretty expanded. I feel pretty good about where I'm at. It can go more. It can expand into different areas, different platforms, different expressions. You can start making different objects. There's so many other different ways to express your magic. And I feel like for a lot of you, there are different areas of specialty that you're being called to. And it's going to be very positive. For some of you guys, like there's money here. There's more money coming through this venture, okay? And I feel like it's going to be easy for you to move forward with it. And this is your justice, okay? This is your justice. I feel like I'm doing like a little side reading for you guys. We have the Ten of Swords here. I feel like the time of chaos, at the time of like not knowing where you're going or how you're getting there, the time of doubt is coming to an end, and you're moving forward into a time of justice, and it's very positive, okay? There's a lot of positive energy here. The outcome is so good, and it's only going to get better for you. I think it's just really time for you to kind of like go all in. And if you guys feel guided to some kind of like specialty, some kind of curiosity, the outcome to that is very positive. So I encourage you guys to do that. All right. Okay, group 4, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful, insightful, and an enjoyable reading. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys.